When you take a look at this Bellmont team, you guys played some pretty good basketball last season, improved as the season went along as well. What is it about this Bellmont team that you can use from last year to use as a springboard going forward to take even a further step further?
I think it just is the success we had last year. I think finally winning, being part of the NE8, finally winning conference games, first time in the conference, winning more games than we lost. 14 wins last year, and I think just the idea of coming in and doing your work, good things will happen. We did lose a ton of guys in terms of minutes, a lot of varsity minutes lost, but we returned a couple of really good basketball players, and I think our successful junior varsity program last year is going to bode well for us.
Who are some of the guys? You mentioned two main players returning. What are their names, and how are they going to step into bigger roles? And who are some of the other guys that are going to be, having to elevate their game on a given night to allow you guys to be competitive?
Well, we do return our leading scorer and rebounder in Cade Filling. Cade led us last year; was first team all conference. Has improved a ton in the off season. Put a lot of time in. Got stronger in the weight room, worked on developing his outside shot a little bit more, so hopefully big and better things from him. And then two more seniors that will have significant minutes. Scott James will run the point for us this year. Played a ton of minutes at the JV level for us last year. Hopefully that'll transition into playing well at the varsity. Grant Sprague is one of our bigs inside, just a kid that'll do anything for you, run through a wall for you if you needed him to. And then after that, it's going to be a bunch of juniors. It's going to be a committee thing, I think. We got a lot of kids that logged a ton of minutes on the JV. Brock Hamilton, Nick Ellsworth. Those will be two guys that we look to get their athletic ability on the floor. Tyler James, Scott's little brother, shoots the ball extremely well. Looking for really big things from him. And then Caden Staub and Mason Reinders are two more juniors that should hopefully compete for some varsity minutes. And even a couple of sophomores, Isaiah Wellman and John Ullman, just because of their grit, can possibly see some time.
Last year in the NE8, East Noble was a pretty dominant team. They graduated a lot of guys. The conference seems a little more wide open this year than it has been. What's the key to you guys competing, not only competing, but seeing yourselves, competing for a conference championship when it's all said and done in this 2019-2020 season?
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I think it's probably the most balanced the conference been in a while. Obviously, I think Leo's going to be tough, and I think Norwell with Will and Columbia City. Coach Eberly returns a couple of guys that are going to play well for him. But I think one of the things that our guys have to understand is that I think in the conference, any night, anybody could beat anybody. And I think it's going to be one of those things where as long as we're ready to go practice-wise and we understand how well we're going to have to do, carry that over our games, I think we could be successful.
Cade Filling, Kadefeelling.
And you pronounce it Felling, right?
Yeah.
Filling or filling?
Filling, yeah, like cream filling.
Okay, like
Yeah.
my tooth, I got a filling.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've been pronouncing it Felling forever, so I guess you would probably know. When you take a look at this Bellmont team, you guys, I felt like you turned the corner maybe as a program last year. What do you do, and what did you learn during that experience that you guys can apply this time and use as a springboard to move this program forward again?
Yeah, so obviously this is the best season we've had in a long time. Basically, we took what we learned last season, basically like defensively. We put in a lot of emphasis on defense, so we're all about grit and hard work. So we make sure that the guys are out there know that what it takes to win games, work hard, put in the effort in the off season like we have been this summer, and it'll turn out positive in the season.
Coach was saying you guys graduated a lot of minutes, a lot of points off last year's team. So who are some of the guys that are going to be stepping to the forefront this year for this Bellmont team?
Yeah, so we lost a lot of minutes and a lot of scoring with the graduation of those four guys, but we'll have Scott and Tyler James will be two really good guards for us this year. They'll have to contribute offensively and defensively right away. We have another post player, Grant Sprague, coming in who will have to fill in for our loss of bigs, and then we have a bunch of juniors and sophomores that are up and coming, and they'll get some good minutes too.
When you take a look at the Northeast State, East Noble was pretty dominant last year. They graduated a lot of guys, and as I was talking with the coach, it seems a little more wide open in the conference this year. How does that play into what you guys want to do, and what's the key to you guys making a run to see your name towards or near the top of the standings at the end of the season?
Yeah, so even last year, I think we finished like third or fourth maybe in the NE8, but yeah, East Noble and Huntington North were obviously really good last year. They lost a lot of seniors, and I think, like you said, it's a lot more wide open and it's a lot more spread out and even, and obviously the NE8 is a very tough conference and very competitive all the way through, but I feel like the experience we gained last season by playing with those good players, it'll hopefully contribute into this season and we can get ourselves up to the top of the conference.